old, I started to be interested in reading and writing. So my auntie, she used to buy me all these exercise books. And yeah, that's how it actually developed during all the years. Yani. I studied hard and yeah, I got good grades.
Your auntie, what was their business? How they care? Your relation was with them? According to your aunties, which kind of kid you were? Sometime maybe you can.
Well, if you would ask my auntie, she would say that I was a good kid. She was a little bit strict. I mean, the discipline at home was hard, but I would say that it was for my own good, because nowadays I see how the kids, they are spoiled around and everything. So I think it's better to have a little bit discipline at home that, you know, than to let the kids run around aimlessly in the streets. And we had a good relationship, and we still do have a good relationship, you know. I mean, we Skype every month, we are still in contact. It doesn't mean that when I became a grown-up and I left their home that we would have, you know, cut the contact, because obviously they were the ones who took care of me when I was a child. I'm still, you know, they are my family. Yani, that's everybody. Yani, my auntie and her husband and my cousins, they are everyone I have, you know.
What about secondary school and high school? Where did you go and what was the story?
After middle school, I went to Germany for an exchange year. I was 16 back then, and I stayed for 1 year in this small town called Luckenwalde. It's near Berlin, 60 kilometers to south. And yeah, I lived with a host family. They were both teachers, and they were very nice people. They taught me a lot about Germany. They took me around very much. Yeah, and they really helped me to learn German language, because after I left Germany to return back to Finland, I didn't want to go to a Finnish school anymore. So my only option was to go to the German school in Helsinki, and that's where I went to high school. Yeah, so in the German school in Helsinki, the teaching is completely in German language. And so in that way, I actually got the German high school diploma, which is called Abitur. And this would normally enable me to study in Germany in any universities I would like, without any kind of, you know, like extra tests or exams that you would have to do when you come from outside of Germany. Yeah.
So in primary school, secondary school, in high school, which kind of student you were? As a character, as a lecturer? What was the...
I was a good student, yes. But I was sometimes a little bit unconcentrated. Yani, I was very socializing, and I remember that teachers, when they used to give me the certificates by the end of the year, I would have good grades, but my behavior in the school wasn't always the best one, because I would talk in the lessons, and, you know, I wouldn't pay attention that much as if they, yani, that much like they wanted. So my favorite subjects were actually, like, they changed during the years. I think in the middle school it was biology and sports, and in high school it was definitely languages and sports. I studied in the middle school, in primary school, you know, in Finland we started to learn English in the 3rd grade. So when I went to the middle school, in the 7th grade, I started to learn Swedish. In the 8th grade, I started to learn German. And that's when I went to Germany for 1 year after that, and my German was fluent. And then when I went to high school in the German school of Helsinki, I started to learn Russian. So obviously my favorite subject was languages, and I always wanted to do something with languages later on when I would, so to say, grow up. Yes.
I shall. And please talk how many languages you know, and after that, if you make any sports or hobbies, what did you interest in that time?
So I used to learn a lot of languages in the school. I had English, Swedish, German, and Russian. And apart from the languages, which were my big interests, I used to do sports. I played basketball in a team in Kerava. But that I wasn't very successful, actually. And I also tried athletics. but I don't know, it just somehow didn't work for me. And my favorite hobby during those years was actually farming, which is pretty funny because like I was a city girl since I was from near Helsinki, and we didn't have a farm ourselves. But the thing is that we used to have, and we still have, a summer house in a small village, maybe 120 kilometers away from Helsinki. It's called Rutalahti. And in that village, we had a lot of neighbors who had farms. And every summer I went for a holiday in the summer house with my grandparents. And I would also go to the farms and help the people to do their, harvesting and in the stables with the animals and these kind of things. Yeah.